Alright, hello everybody and welcome to today's gameplay stream. I am Phil. This is Monday, May 16th, 2016's gameplay stream. Once again, the continuation of Doom's campaign. A game with quite a lengthy campaign, which I did not expect. And, I am really liking it. I'm digging it. The classic vibe of the game, for sure, is really entertaining. And I am having fun ever since Friday. When the game was released, I've been having fun playing this daily. So I certainly hope that you've been enjoying watching me play it, whether you've been watching it on stream or you've been following along on demand on YouTube. I certainly appreciate if you have been following along the playthrough. Now, I knew when I started playing this, I'll be honest, it's not a playthrough for everyone. This is a playthrough for people who love classic FPS action. If you're into more modern gaming, you probably don't like the game or don't like the playthrough. So, that's okay. You know, for me, it's a throwback. It was something to do over the weekend. This week, we've got tons of new stuff happening that I'm sure will be a lot more modernized for those who are interested. You know, I always said that Doom was going to be a big weekend thing for me, and that this week we'd be moving on to the new releases, which is very much the case, which I'll talk about in just a moment here. But FYI, since you are on the stream and you probably want to know what's going to happen, it's going to be about 3.5 hours of the campaign of Doom 3. Right now, I am about to finish the 8th stage of the game. I'm right at the end. And the game has 13 stages. So, it's looking to me like we'll finish this up. We'll probably start stage 9, 10, and maybe even get into stage 11 today. And that will wrap up today's gameplay of Doom. Later tonight, I will be playing more Doom, okay? But it's not going to be live streamed, being that when I play late, usually I don't get that many in attendance anyway. It's going to be more multiplayer, because I played the multiplayer on Friday, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was some of the best multiplayer that I've played in a first-person shooter in a long time, and I even said on Twitter, officially, it is my favorite first-person shooter gameplay in quite some time. It's my style of first-person shooter. So, I'm going to be playing more of that tonight, and that will officially conclude my kind of 4-day marathon of Doom, alright? Tomorrow, Homefront The Revolution releases. I'll be checking it out. I'll be playing it at least on my first stream. If I want to dive more into it, I may be even doing a second stream, okay? We'll see what happens. I'm not sure, if I'm going to do 2 streams or not. It all depends on if people are liking it and they want to see more right away or not. If not, let's say I play it on first stream and people are like, okay, we know what it is now, and there's not much interest in it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll play more Doom campaign later in the night so that I can continue on my campaign, because like I said, I do want to beat the game. It's just going to take a little while over the course of this week for me to kind of spread it out. Alright? Wednesday, same thing. Homefront will be the live stream. We'll see. We'll play it by ear, see how it goes. There may either be Doom or more Homefront later in the day. Thursday of this week is the very first major expansion for Fallout 4. Now, I know Fallout 4 has had 2 DLC expansions already, but this is the first one that is actually, like, totally narrative-based, similar to the previous expansions for games like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. From all reports, it is the largest expansion ever from Fallout, ever. Like, on any of the Fallout games, it's the biggest one. So, I'm very excited to see, how much content is in there. There's a lot of fun side content. What did they do with this DLC? If anything, I think it'll be a fun return to the game after, I did return to it back in, March? For the Automatron DLC, but it wasn't great. It was okay. It was very average. There wasn't a lot of story to it. The story that was there was kind of very bare bones. It was more about just customizing a robot follower of yours than anything else. So, in that regard, I was a little disappointed. It was good, but it wasn't great. And then I skipped the other DLC that came out in April, because that one was just doing stuff at your workbench, which I don't even really care about. So, I'm pretty excited. I know it's probably going to take me quite a while to tackle that DLC. So if I start it on Thursday and it takes me till next week to beat it, well, so be it. I'm happy about that, So that is going to be starting this Thursday. Okay, it's going to be pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. And I certainly hope that you will join me for that, especially if you were a fan of my Fallout 4 playthrough last year. It's going to be more of the same. We finally get a real chance to return back to that universe, rather than kind of a crappy quick DLC. It's going to be a good one. Alright? So my goal this week is to complete the campaign of Doom, to play some of Homefront The Revolution, and to play and complete the Fallout 4 DLC Far Harbor. There's other, if I do have more time to play Homefront, I will. I'll be honest, Homefront is probably the least prioritized game on my list this week, just based on, things that I think I'm going to like. Of course, I say that now, and who knows? Maybe I'll start playing it and I'll freaking love it. So we'll see, alright? So that's the schedule for this week, FYI. If you want further detail, you can check out the Weekend Preview, which I released last night on the King of Hate Vlogs. Speaking of the King of Hate Vlogs, last night I made a special video, alright, on the King of Hate Vlogs, explaining the goal for Patreon for this month. So this is the first time I'm actually talking about it on a stream. Alright, so I'll reveal it to you. The goal for Patreon this month, and of course my Patreon, is patreon.com/darksidephil. The goal is, if we hit the funding level, a special patron appreciation multiplayer event. Okay? Now what is that? Well, in the past, I've done multiplayer events. Okay? What they are, usually I grab a few games, popular games, around the time that I'm doing the event that have multiplayer components, and I set up a lobby, and I find various ways. It all depends on the game. Some games, it's easy to set up a private lobby. Some games, it's not so easy. And I set up this lobby, and I just let people join me in some multiplayer madness. Now, over the years, it's been hit or miss, okay? When I was doing this on the Xbox 360, which I used to do all the time, it was incredibly easy. Okay, it was incredibly easy. But for whatever reason, this next generation of consoles, the ones that we're currently in, they made it harder. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But they did. So what I've noticed is when I've tried to do multiplayer events, there's lots of trolling, there's lots of issues, and I said, I would really like to play multiplayer. In particular, right now, there's a lot of multiplayer games out that people would probably like to play with me. Street Fighter V, Doom, Overwatch is coming out soon, and Uncharted 4, right? 4 great multiplayer games that I'm sure people would like to have the opportunity to play against me or with me in. But if I were to do an open event, it would probably be rife with trolling. It would be a nightmare to set up because there's so many people who want to play. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something completely different, okay? It's going to be patron-based. So the bottom line is, for the month of May, if you pledge to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil, $5 or more, but yeah, it's a requirement of $5, you basically qualify for the event. And as long as we hit the funding level of $1,250 for the month, which by the way, I've hit it every month since I started Patreon. Some months have been close, but I've hit it every single month. I would think I'm going to hit it this month. Especially as I start to talk about this event more, and people are like, wow, I wanted to play Phil in multiplayer in these games, and there hasn't really been an opportunity to do so that actually would work. So as long as we hit the funding level, and you pledge $5, you're basically in. If you want to play me in one of those 4 games, you're in. And what's going to happen is, if we hit the goal in June, what I'll do is post up a thread on my forums on thekingofhate.com. And the thread will be for 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm going to set up 3 potential dates for the event, and you'll be able to vote on what date the event will happen. And number 2, you'll be able to say what games you want to play with me. Okay? And I'm going to really go out of my way with this event to make it happen, to make it work, and to basically accommodate everyone. If I need to do it 2 separate days, split the event to 2 different days, so that way half the people can play with me one day and half can play the other day, I'll do it. Especially because if I'm going to do it probably in early July, it's going to be a dead time anyway. There's not going to be any major game releases or anything, so I'll have the freedom to kind of adjust the schedule on the fly for this special event, okay? It's the first time I'm doing anything like this, alright? And I want to see how it goes. If it does work and it ends up going smoothly and everyone gets to play and we have tons of fun during the event because of this, Patreon related screen, rather than just having everyone join willy-nilly and then you have a ton of trolls being idiots. If it ends up being good, I may do it again in the future. All right, it's the kind of thing that I would like to do. Now, other people do this all the time. People have been doing things with their subs on Twitch and their Patreon pledgees for years. This is the first time I'm actually attempting to do one to see how it goes. All right. Now, I do want to also say this. I want to make it abundantly clear. Just because I'm doing this special event like this does not mean that standard fan appreciation stuff is going away. No, there will be opportunities in the future when I will be doing multiplayer with people. That is not, you don't have to pledge to my Patreon to do it. And I fully understand that there's tons of people who like to watch my streams and my videos daily, and they don't have money that they can pledge. I get that. That's not the point of this event. The point of this event is for those who really want to go the extra mile to support me, but also have been wanting to play multiplayer with me for a long time and never have had the opportunity, that now they can finally do it in a controlled environment. It's different from the standard fan appreciation multiplayer. That's why I'm not calling this fan appreciation multiplayer. It's not. It's patron appreciation multiplayer. It's different. All right. All right, everybody. So that's the deal. That's the goal. Please check it out at patreon.com/darksidephil. You have 2 weeks left to pledge to my Patreon if you want to get in on this event. Now, keep in mind, pledging to my Patreon doesn't only just get you into that. You get all kinds of personal rewards, such as of last night, patrons from the month of April have their text thank you shout-outs showing up in all of my weekend preview videos. You can get verbal shout-outs. You can get your question answered on my bi-monthly show, Ask the King. Last night, I actually filmed 2 private Q&A videos for patrons. And already I got feedback from one of them. He was like, I love it. I loved the video. Thank you so much for your answers and for going into detail and taking your time answering my questions. I ended up spending over an hour just on the 2 videos. That's the kind of guy I am. If you're gonna go out of your way to pledge to my Patreon and do something special for me, then I'm gonna obviously do something special for you. So, check it out at patreon.com/darksidephil and consider pledging. All right? I want to say thank you to any of you who may have checked out or ordered from my girlfriend's business, The Black Current, over this weekend. She was running a sale where you could save 20 or 30% on certain, order levels, and a bunch of people actually ordered. I couldn't, I never know what to expect when I promote my girlfriend's business. I don't know if any time when I mentioned The Black Current, if it's going to actually have a positive effect or not. It did. A lot of people jumped on and took advantage of the sale. She probably won't have another sale again until next month. But it doesn't mean that you can't check out her soaps and wax tart melts at etsy.com/shop/The Black Current. It's great stuff. And you might want to jump on now. And the reason I say that is because come in June, she's going to be launching her new summer line of product, which means some of the stuff she has on there right now is not going to be there forever. It's actually going to be going away. The spring line of stuff is limited time only. So if you like certain scents that are available now, they may not be available comes the summer if they sell out, so you better check it out now, okay? Also, obviously, I'd like to say, please follow me on social media, at They Call Me DSP on Twitter, They Call Me DSP on Instagram. Been having a lot of fun recently talking about things that I've been watching. Last night I was talking about the stuff that I was watching. I watched the new Justice League versus Teen Titans animated movie from DC Comics. I love their animated movies. This was no exception. It was a good one. Of course, it is based in the New 52 universe, which I'm not used to. Still getting used to it. And then also I watched some more Tales from the Crypt, which I love. I love that show. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I share on social media outside of the work stuff. I do a lot of work stuff. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of posts about, gee, this is uploading and this stream is live and here's my updated schedule. But I try to integrate it with personal stuff too. So please check that out as well. Excuse me. I had a burp stuck in my throat the whole time I was doing the pre-stream. It finally came up. Whew. Alright, and last but not least, everyone. Last but not least. Please check out my Amazon associate link in the description of all of my live streams and on-demand videos on YouTube. If you live in the United States of America and you click on that link before you go shopping on Amazon.com and then you shop as normal, it gives me some referral credit. It helps out. Doesn't give me a ton of money by any means at all, but every little bit counts, and it certainly helps, so please consider doing so. that is it, everyone. Thank you. Quick pre-stream today since I started late. Let's go ahead and jump right back into Doom. I'm excited. I am excited. Hope you're excited too. By the way, I see a lot of stream chat regulars have showed up today, so thank you for that. Past few days, people have been kind of not around, and I was wondering if it was because it was Doom or whatever, or people were just busy. I don't know. I see a lot of stream chat regulars have returned today, so welcome to all of you. I see many familiar faces chatting it up. All right, let's start with Doom. Here we go.